I remember about a year ago, Ben Shapiro had that spat with Andrew Neil, and butthurt Ben Shapiro called Andrew a woke leftist or something like that, which was fucking hilarious because anyone who knows anything about anything will know that Andrew Neil is no leftist. Obviously, this doesn't include Shapiro because he's thick as shit. However, this does kind of speak to my notion that I think there's something fundamentally different between the traditional English conservative and the American conservative, and also the fact that I think traditional English conservatives are dying breed, which 10 years ago or so I would have thought was fucking great news. However, the fact that being replaced by these young, supposedly energetic, fascistic and fuck dimwits like Cameron Badenoch is a room for concern. I may take the journalist Peter O'Byrne. He's a conservative. He will freely admit this. He wrote for the Telegraph. He defines as a conservative, but in the last year or two, he's appeared on lots of kind of lefty podcasts, and he's created a kind of olive branch between him and the left because he's been saying how he feels the classic British conservative has died. He feels that the traditional conservative values are all about being polite, being civil, and small government. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not for small government. I feel a large government with the people's interests at heart is the what is the best for everyone. However, we don't have this, so it seems that new type of conservative, which people like Ben Shapiro are aren't necessarily for small government, therefore big government, as long as it has the interests of corporations at heart and care much more about corporations than people. And also, cause of the fact of this New Age / American conservative is wokeness, whatever that is evil. And when you think about this, wokeness, what it really means is being polite and civil with people that Peter O'Byrne would argue, rightly or wrongly, is a core principle of the so-called traditional British conservative. I mean, I think John Major is like the epitome of what I'm describing, the traditional British conservative, and a quote of his popped up on social media the other day about what a horrible, evil lady he thinks Kevin Badenoch is. The first two Prime Ministers I was old enough to remember were John Major and Tony Blair, and in hindsight they were pretty hard to distinguish between. I remember my parents being so happy when the Conservatives lost, but actually the difference between a fairly centrist civil conservative like Major and a leader like Blair, who then turned out to be a right-wing neoliberal crackpot, is quite small. In fact, maybe in hindsight, you could argue John Major was the more centrist left-leaning of the two. So what am I saying? I'm saying I guess the traditional British conservative is a dying breed, and unfortunately they get replaced with something much more evil.